Well, it's another lovely morning and another lovely time for us to be together right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. And my name is Michael Gobadia.
Yes, I am Mercy Erabo. Good morning once again and welcome to Viewpoint. Without wasting much of our time, let's quickly go into the dailies. And for today, we have 5 papers for review. We have The Punch, The Nation, The Guardian, This Day, and Vanguard. So let's start with The Punch.
And on The Punch this morning, the leading story reads, Makinde orders to fight for PDP ticket. And this is because of the 2027 elections, you do know. Right after that says, APC insists opposition will lose in 2027. Obi may, and I say may, consider PDP return, says Obedient. And party zones 2027 ticket to South. And anyway, don't go South, just go to page 2 of The Punch and you get all of that story. Let's see if we take some other leading story at the top mast. And we're looking at this. And yes, external reserve projected to hit 45 billion United States dollar by year end. And page 21 has that sharing economic news. Now vows critical assets shut down over ASO strike threat. It's another disturbing one on page 29. 13% derivation fund ease oil producing state debt by 601 billion naira. And you can get more of that story on page 19 of The Punch newspaper. Osun Lagos lead as 1.3 million complete voters card pre-registration. And that story is on page 3. But remember, we looked at these last week on the dialogue. But let's see if we'll not dialogue, but rather look more on the papers. And let's quickly go to the bottom mass part of The Punch. And see if we have other punch, major punches on The Punch. Military retires or retirees demand pay rise and national honors, and you will not blame them. But I'll just tell you to read more of that story on page 30. Despite federal government promise, Ekiti Ondo federal roads still impassable. And you can get more of that cries from page 33. Power generation struck at least 5,500 megawatt as Bayelsa gets a regulatory authority. And I authorize you to take more of that story on page 23. And let's see the picture of the day and more of a story on page 5 of The Punch. And that is ECOWAS to raise 2.5 billion United States dollars for 260,000 man counter-terrorism force. And I feel if that comes into place, well, enough of insurgency in this very region. But that's the much you can take from The Punch.
Yeah, let's see what The Nation has for us this morning. The major story here says PDP knocks out Saraki Bala from 2027 presidential race. And the writer to the story, Wike's zoning to South vindicates me. Jonathan Makinde Obi on the radar. You can find this on page 2 of The Nation newspaper. Let's go to the top mass. It says Tunji Ojo Ezekwesili differ on president's economic reforms. That's on page 3 of the paper. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria seeks suspension of customs 4% FOB charge. That's on page 3 of the paper. Ojulari oil theft through pipeline bust halted. The writer to the story says syndicates stealing crude, and that's on page 3 of the paper. Still here at the top, I can see 260,000 ECOWAS forces to fight terrorism in sub-region. And the writer to the story says defense finance chiefs to work out plans for $2.5 billion. And you can find the story on page 2 of the paper. Let's see if we have more here. The side mass says Nigeria-Brazil Airlink begins. And you can read that story on page 2 of the paper. To the bottom mass, it says Ondo Tertiary Institution workers lament non-payment of salaries. That's on page 3 of the paper. The picture of the day is that of the presidential visit to Brazil, and that's all we'll be taking on The Nation this morning. Let's go to The Guardian. Let's see what The Guardian has for us. The major story here says 2027 Atiku signals interest as PDP heads for showdown with Tinubu, and that's on page 6 of the paper. The top mass here says U.S. defense new social media vetting for visa applicants. That's on page 2 of the paper. Family laments poor emergency response as woman dies in Lagos Lagoon crash. That's a very sad story and can be found on page 8 of the paper. 795 financial institutions among 1,369 firms facing data breach probe. That story is on page 15 of the paper. Let's go to the bottom mass. It says NDLEA bust drug cartel that framed Nigeria pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. That story is on page 8. Manufacturers lament as return of FOB levy courses stir, and that's on page 3 of the paper. Over here we see ICPC recovers 1.1 billion naira from Kano official as state dismisses claim. That story is on page 30 of the paper. Federal government introduces mandatory ethics criminal screening for teachers. That story is on page 30 of the paper. Tinubu seeks stronger Nigeria-Brazil ties, inks Barca deal. That's on page 3. Southwest leads a new voters exercise. Southeast records lowest turnout. That's on page 5 of the paper, and the picture of the day is that of the major story, which says Atiku signals interest as PDP heads for showdown with Tinubu. So it's more or less the contest. All right, so that's all we're taking on The Guardian this morning. Let's go to this day. Yes, the major story here says Jonathan Obi PDP as party's next zones presidency to South. And the writer to the story says, Wike has been vindicated, says media aides. Damagon confirmed substantive national chair. And that story is on page 9 of the paper. Just slightly above the major story, it says, at Maiden African CDS Summit, Tinubu pushes for new African defense doctrine. And the writer to the story says, canvasses permanent CDS forum to tackle terrorism, cybercrime, transnational crimes, explains why African nations must invest in cyber defense, AI, and that story is on page 9 of the paper. Let's go to the top mass. NUPRC, Nigerian crude oil production rose 10% to 1.71 million BPD in July. And the writer to the story says, NNPC's Ojulari says syndicates exploit security gaps to steal Nigerians' oil. That story is on page 9 of the paper. Let's go to the bottom mass. In 1 week, INEC's online pre-registration hits 1,379,342, and that story is on page 28 of the paper. Let's see the picture of the day. Tinubu in Brazil, so it's still talking about the presidential visit, and that's all we're taking on this day. Up next is the Vanguard.
Well, yes, for review today, the Vanguard will be the last paper for us to look at, and the leading story, PDP zones presidency to South, says APC won't play fair. But it would be fair for me to tell you to read that story on page 5. Well, because of time, we'll not be taking any riders to that. But let's quickly see if we take our leading story still at the top mass of the paper. And yes, family, that's Lagos hospital clash over patient withheld remains, ICU charges. And that's sad, disturbing story you can get on page 24. And 5 journalists among 20 killed in Israel strike on Gaza hospital. And it's not a cheering one, but page 8 has that story. And international syndicates exploit security gap to steal crude, says NNPCL boss. And just take more of that story right there on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. But let's see if we take some other stories at the side mass and also the bottom part of the Vanguard newspaper. Okija massacre Police go after assailants. It's a major one on page 11. Crisis looms in universities over salary structure review. It's a major one on page 8. And Ogudu, Ifaku Bridge, gridlock persists despite suspension of work. It's a major one on page 10. Talking about sports, and I know Kes will be excited about this. Eagles good enough to beat Rwanda and South Africa. Well, I'm not saying that, but Lawan is saying as they prepare for the 2026 World Cup qualifier. State of the Nation, Minister Kwesili clash at NBA Confab. And more of that clash you can get on page 8 of, the Vanguard newspaper. Well, the picture of the day is that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you do know the president of Brazil, Lula, yesterday having a warm handshake as he officially welcomes the president of Nigeria to Brazil itself. Well, I know that's the much you can take from the papers and indeed wrap on the dailies this morning. But I'll tell you to still remain with us because we still have more to come. The news, trending, and most certainly dialogue will come next right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Adi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Ninja Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
My name is Desogari Comedy Catalyst. I'm one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife Naija celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
It is 1 month since that very unfortunate incident that shocked a whole lot of Nigerians and is still creating a whole lot of reactions across the country, and that is the brutal assault and stripping naked of Ms. Jennifer Elo, a National Youth Service Corps member who is also still in shock over the incident that happened on the 13th day of July 2025 in Anambra by vigilante members attached to the Agun Chamber group. The call for justice has continued to grow, with the Anambra State government, through the special advisor to the state governor on community security and leader of the group, Ken Emakumi, saying that the operative have been arrested and handed over to the Nigerian police for further investigation and prosecution. But the question is, how far or long will the will of justice be in bringing the 8th operative to book, knowing that the Delta State government has also weighed in into the matter and seem to be doing all it takes to ensure that justice is served? But the question still remains, what would have made 8 heavily armed men assault a defenseless lady? And how far have justice been served? Well, this and more as it concerns that very disturbing issue is what this edition of Dialogue is centered on, and that is assault on Delta State's National Corps member and the cry for justice. And that's what we're having as a major one today on Dialogue. We'll be looking at that very assault and also the push and call for justice, especially against those 8 operatives of the vigilante group. But to help us talk about this is no other person, but one that is deeply involved in trying to see if justice will be served and served on time as it concerns that very case. And I'm talking of no other person but the special advisor to the governor on senior special assistant to the governor on human rights issues. And I'm talking of no other person but Comrade Kevin Ojomodo. Comrade Kevin, nice having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Well, indeed, a very sad narrative on the 13th day of July around 5 p.m., if I'm really precise, about the time that that very assault happened. Like I said, it's about a month ago. But anyway, the cry for justice has continued to rise. I really want us to start, but before we do, I don't know if my PD is ready with that very video. We had a quick interview with the lady, and she gave a narrative of what really transpired. I'll definitely call for that later, but I want us to quickly come into everything as it concerns that. I know she has given her account of what transpired on that very sad day, but I want you to also bring us to speed on what really happened and your reaction when you saw that very viral video.
You know, it was disheartening. You know, I wept in my spirit.
Yeah.
You know, seeing a Nigerian girl child being maltreated, being stripped naked by stark illiterates who were employed to safeguard the Anambra communities, but they have turned into a wolf that want to devour the very persons they have sworn on oath to protect and defend. If each time I go to the video, I feel like, why was I not in that environment at that time?
Well, thank God you were not.
Because you know, there are things, as activists, there are things we don't stand, and we just cannot stand it. No matter what happens, is on the course. You know, so after seeing that, I had to reach out to the young lady.
Okay. In question?
Yes, Miss Elo Jennifer Edema.
Okay.
I now find out that she's even a Delta. Like, wow. 7 in Anambra. I said, okay, let me get an account of what really happened.
Yeah.
And she narrated the whole ordeal. They were in their lodge, Corpus Lodge. Then this Udoachi, Agune Chamber Vigilante Group, they came in their numbers. They were banging at the door.
Okay.
So the thing kept on open the door. So she now reached out to the door and said, what's going on? Before she could approach the door, one of them mashed the door against her.
Okay.
And that was how they entered the room and said, everybody, come outside. I said, where would you come outside to go now? We are youth corpers. Who are you?
Yeah.
What the first one that hit the door was a mask.
Okay.
Second one that followed was wearing a wig, like a lady, but it's a guy, but he's wearing a wig. The fourth one, they all entered the room and said, everybody come out. They said, we are youth corpers. These are identity cards.
And the vigilante members did not identify themselves.
They didn't identify themselves.
At the initial stage.
No, because they were looking like even criminals.
Yeah.
So she said, at the point they felt they were criminals, but then I said, we are all of them, move. Because if it's criminals, maybe they would have robbed their valuables.
Yeah.
And leave.
Okay, so that's when they knew they were not
armed robbers. Maybe, okay. They said, okay, fine. We are youth corpers. These are uniforms. These are ID cards. They said, we don't want to know, move. I said, okay, let's go. While they were going, coming out from their lodge, she now said, please, if you take us anywhere, let me tell my local government coordinator where you are taking us to and who are you people. As she made that call, the pastor now, that among all of you that they carried, people are 9. You are the girl, you are the one that have the boldness to talk. That's where we're carrying to. For that, started beating her. Strip her naked, beat her, and she was even pleading that said, okay, now that I'm even naked, please, I'll follow you people now. But let me just take cloth to cover my body. They said, no way. They bundled her into their Sienna, all of them on the Zoomer. Put them to sit on the bed floor. It was a raining evening, so they sat on the bed floor, water on the floor. They sat down there.
In their office?
In their office. And she said, while they were on transit, some of them were not touching her breast. She said, now this will make body they catch you. You know, misbehaving, calling out sort of vulgar names. That if she misbehaves, they will kill her and throw her body and nothing will happen. That she's not bigger than those that they've traveled. They traveled me in the local balance, people that they've killed. So she now kept mute and followed them there. So thereafter, it was in the evening, she now called the proprietress for the school which she used to teach. Said, ma, please, they brought us to Agune Chamber office. That they are looking for.
So they stayed there that long? They stayed
there that long. They were there till late at night. Before the proprietress now came and said, no, these are my coppers in my school. They are not internet fraudsters, neither are they criminals. Don't you see the ID card? And I said, okay, you people can go. They now give them 30,000 to transport. So they knew what they have done.
Oh, they were the one that gave them
30,000 to transport. So okay, use it for transport. Then they left. So she now reported to her NYC coordinator in Anambra State that this is what happened. The coordinator was nonchalant. He treated the matter with kick glue, was telling her that just let it slide. that some of you will still marry men that will beat you.
Wow.
Just see it as a norm,
Wow, wow.
So she was not still, happy
Because
with
of the
that.
humiliation and all that she got.
You know, ask the conductor, even if I were to be your daughter, will you be saying we should let this matter slide? So she pressed on and reached out and said, no, this cannot happen to a Nigerian student. More to say, a youth corps, a national youth corps serving at father's land.
Yeah.
You as an illiterate, you have the effrontery to even hit her. On what basis? And that was where I now went there to meet the commissioner of police in Anambra State because they were treating the matter with kid gloves.
Okay.
They even lied that the girl and her father said they don't want a case, that they want the matter to be settled because they don't want an nudity to be on the internet, that they want to resolve the issue. The girl said she never said that. She debunked it. The father said he never told the police, he never told the Agnes Chamber operatives that they don't want a case, that they want justice
to be served.
And on that day, 21st day of August, we arrived at Anambra. We received an audience by the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the CID. So they took a statement where she narrated all that
transpired.
And they said in this coming week, they'll be charged to court. We are following the matter swiftly. We're not going to leave any stone unturned to ensure that she gets justice.
And we'll come to how far you've gone, and not just you alone, but the Delta State government has gone in this matter. But I want us to still follow the narrative. Okay. And in following the narrative, the special advisor on security issues, Mr. Kenneth, made mention that what made the operative go to that very location was that they were in hot pursuit of some cultists. And that was his narrative. Hence, when they stumbled in and saw these persons all in the corpus law. So, was it far away from the truth? And were you able to also reach to get his own side of the tale?
That was a blatant lie for the pit of hell.
So it was economical with the church?
Yes, they were not chasing after anybody. They just felt maybe going to an hostel, breaking into people's homes. Maybe they might see people that they suspected to be fraudsters. Because when that was the first thing they said you are doing Yahoo. They now said we are not doing Yahoo. We are companies are lodged, and that's why you see that we are about 9 persons in the room. Yes. They were even playing a game there in the room. Yeah. So we are not Yahoo boys. We are not internet fraudsters. We are compass. The computer you saw here on the table is wow. Are you telling me operation that we are doing? They said no. That's when they bundled them out. So he was the economical truth, and he also wanted to say that they've been arrested. But when I got to Anambra, it was on a Wednesday. We got to Anambra on Thursday. It was Wednesday night. They arrested those people and handed them over to the police. Wow. Wednesday night.
So what you're saying is that the operatives were not, or these persons were not arrested before you people wade into the matter.
No, they were not arrested. They were not arrested. They treated the matter with kid glove.
And they were roaming the street free.
They were, because it happened since July, and they were arrested in August.
Yes.
You could imagine the long
1
time.
month gap.
It was when she saw that all her effort to push for justice is proven abortive, then she now said no. She's going to reach out to the human rights community to see if we can help. Because at that point in time, her coordinator of the NYC in Anambra State were telling her, the man was telling her that, see, it's like when you are married and your husband beats you, that is a normal thing. Just allow it to slide. She said no. So this year I was beaten. Till date, she's still going through pains in her back.
Okay, now I really plead with you, Comrade Kevin Ojomodo, to hold on, and it's even better we hear from her directly. This was even an interview you conducted with her. Immediately you got to Anambra, so it will be first point interview as it concerns her really telling us what really transpired on that unfortunate date, and we're talking about the 13th day of July 2025, about 5 p.m. to be precise. Let's go to listening to no other person but Miss Jennifer Elo Edema as she narrates what really transpired on that day. PD, let's have it.
Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, Deltans. I'm here with our sister, the corps member, who was allegedly brutalized by the Agune Chamber vigilante men of Anambra State, and her nude was posted also on the internet. She was beaten like a common criminal for doing nothing, for just telling them that I'm a copper, and if you are taking us anywhere, you must identify where you are taking us to, so that we call our director to tell them where we are going to. So I decided to come and visit her today as the SSA to the governor of Delta State on human rights. It's within my office to handle such case, because a Deltan cannot be brutalized in Anambra and the matter will be swept under the carpet. Even a non-Deltan also because everybody has their fundamental human rights. Hence, I'm here to meet her today to give us on the ground information of what transpired on that day. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
So tell us what happened on the 23rd of July 2023 in Anambra, your lodge.
Okay, my name is Edema Elo Jennifer. I'm the victim of the assault in Anambra State that occurred on July 23rd, 2025. Well, I and my colleagues were just in our corpers lodge because we went to charge our phones. We were having light issues in our PPA, so we went for a visit to a co-corpers PPA to charge our phones. But we started hearing knock on the door. It's a 3-story building apartment, so we actually thought it was our neighbor's door that was being knocked on. But when we heard the knock again, I decided to go and check to see if it was my door, because initially we were not expecting anybody. All of us that know each other as coppers in that vicinity were complete in that apartment. But before I even got to the door was kicked in, and on the other side of the door was a masked man with a gun. He was even wearing gloves, no form of identification, no uniform, no ID card, nothing. And the next thing I got from him was, all of you outside, come out from this room very fast. And I was like, outside as how? All of us in this room are coppers, even if you are looking for people, or even if you came for a raid, all of us are coppers. It was through this altercation, my colleagues heard my voice and they came out and were like, Jennifer, what's happening? And which I told them, and then the guy was like, all of us here in this room are coppers. In fact, let me go and get my ID card. He went inside and alerted the others to bring out their ID card. Those of us that were not with ID card from other people, that we should open our portal, that somebody is asking us to come outside, does not understand. But all this was ignored, even the fact that we were showing our ID cards, even when they forced themselves into the room with our uniforms on display and everything, even our NYC shoes and uniform, everything was on display. But they ignored, seized our phones, our laptops and everything. Even told us that if we even make as much as a sound, or if we even try to call anybody, that they were going to smash our phones, that they were going to shoot us. They were threatening us with guns and everything. They forced us downstairs from the apartment, forced us downstairs that we should follow them to their vehicle, that we should follow them. It was because I insisted that I was not going to go anywhere.
Sad narrative, you agree with me, and one that really is still shocking Nigerians, and the outrage that greeted that very viral video is still one that many Nigerians are really, really bitter about. And you just could hear from her directly on what really transpired on that very day. We're talking about 13th day of July, and it's only sad that it took about a month and 2 days before an effective push was made by the Delta State representative. And we're still having here, we're talking of no other person but Comrade Kevin Ojomodo wading into the issue. Now, Comrade, I need to come back to you. Yeah, we heard her own tales, and well, it's really disheartening and quite pitiable to see such happen to someone that feels she's serving this great country, and she feels she's doing her own civic responsibility, now being assaulted by such persons. But let's come back to you, because she made mention that no questions were initially asked. They were just the kicking of the door and the rest. So I'm now being forced to ask, is this how they carry out their operation there? Because we've also heard tales, and I'm quite certain that during your course of investigation, you also probe further to understand whether that's how they are. Is that how really they operate in dealing with issues or trying to deal with insecurity issues by this very group? Is that how they operate?
Yes, they operate so unprofessional because they are not attached to the police.
Okay.
So they see themselves as a demigod on their own.
Okay.
You know, that's why I keep faulting the governor of Anambra State. Because bringing an security outfit without putting them under the check of the police, they will go astray. Agunechima, the Uduachi was brought in, the Agunechima group was brought in to combat citizen kidnappings in the southeast, in Anambra to be precise. When they came in, they have their own office. They were running a parallel system of operations. They were not attached to the police. They were doing their own job. They have their own detention cell and all
but my question, were they not trained on issue of I'll call them militias, and even if they are armed militias or paramilitary and civilian interaction. Were they not trained on all of that, knowing how to interact with persons they tend to protect?
They were not trained, because if you see all of them that day, you know, if they are trained, seeing someone identify himself that I'm a youth copper, commonsensically you know that, okay, we're sorry, I think we're at the wrong place, please, sorry. We're actually people from Udoachi vigilante, we're in a trail trying to make sure everybody's okay. We're sorry. Civility, being civil. But these men are not trained. You even see, they won't have a uniform, they don't put on their uniform anymore. When Soludo launched it earlier, he gave them a uniform, but they don't like wearing that uniform, they want to look intimidating. Imagine someone in an outfit wearing wig. That's with intention to disguise yourself. Well, when you commit an havoc or you commit a crime, they won't be able to trace you. How can you mask up your face as a member of a vigilante? So if you commit a crime now, how do they trace that it is this person that commits a crime? And she said it even before the Assistant Commissioner of Police that day, that the very leader of that group has never been arrested.
Okay.
Among those that were paraded, that particular one was not among that. He's chubby, he has a big tummy. And that particular one was one eating her back, even inside the vehicle. That one has not been arrested. And we've told the police to go after him.
So how many of them in particular have been arrested, or how many really assaulted her? Let's get the full detail.
They were 10 that assaulted her. Okay. They came with three Siennas.
Okay.
So one set of Sienna persons was the one that went upstairs to their lodge
and brought them down.
The other two, they didn't come down from the vehicle, they were just there. Okay. But those particular ones that assaulted her, there were 10 of them. So they've arrested about 8 of them now. Yeah. Remaining 2. So and that she said that was the one that was hitting her. I was even speaking Igbo that if she misbehaves, that they will kill her. So our colleague was now interpreting it for her what the guy said.
Just for her to keep calm and maintain calm.
Yes. It was even our colleague that now pulled a shirt to cover her up. They never even bothered. They don't know empathy.
But I thought this was a trained operative, because we were fortunate to get addressed by Mr. Kenneth, who is the special advisor to Solodo on security issues. And funny enough, he's the head of this very group. And the narrative he gave was these were trained persons. And so they could know what they were doing. But it's only now, it's not even debatable looking at the response you're giving.
They were not trained, because it was even after our case came up, some other persons were now writing me that these same people, they've assaulted me some time ago, they turned my shirt. Even ladies, even guys are not writing. When they see on my timeline, they were not writing me that these people assaulted them on so-and-so date. I said, okay, all of you come to the court. We're going to use your own as witnesses in this matter. Okay. And we'll file a $1 billion suit against the Anambra State government, because this is an act of recklessness and responsibility for going forward. You can't put an outfit that doesn't have a control. Where you have, and we've told them, she's no longer completing her youth service there. Okay. She's going to be deployed back to Delta to do her remaining 2 months, because we do not trust her safety and with the Anambra State government going forward. So we've done all of that. She will be coming to Delta to complete her remaining 2 months, and she do her POP.
Okay, now I'm really interested to really get your insight into the response of the executive governor of our Delta State. I do know there was a strong reaction that came immediately after that viral video, and His Excellency, Right Elder Sheriff Oboriwori, stated that he's really not happy with what he saw, and he also made promise that he will do everything in his power to ensure that justice comes to no other person but Jennifer Elo. So let's understand. What has, I know your response was you went on behalf of the Delta State government, but I want to understand what that response has been, especially coming from the Delta State government. Okay,
you know, immediately the Excellency, the governor of Delta State, sent an emissary to the Ministry of Youth in Anambra State, which was the Commissioner of Youth in Delta State, went to meet the Commissioner of Youth in Anambra State. They had an interface meeting, and they decided to also visit the issue again in Asaba. They went first, but they are going to come to Asaba, and publicly also they are going to apologize to her. But we are not decided about that. What we want is justice, and the governor has zero tolerance for human rights violations, even within and outside the state. So hence he has said no Deltan under his watch will be intimidated, extorted, brutalized, even at home or in diaspora. So the Excellency has thrown his full weight on the matter, and we are following it keenly. The matter is in court.
Yeah. So I learned. But what has been the response of that of Imo State? Anambra State government. Have they been cooperative in also getting justice for Elo?
You know, Her Excellency, the wife of His Excellency, the governor of Anambra State, she placed a call across to her, sympathized with her, and promised to have a meeting with her in the coming days, which they've not done that. Also, the governor, His Excellency, Governor Charles Soludo, only condemned the act and the internet, but never reached out.
Have there been no special, or has there been no representative from the Anambra State government visiting her and also sending their plea? Is it only on phone calls?
No, just phone call. No, none of them have come to visit her. It was even where His Excellency the governor of Delta State gave a marching order that the Commissioner of Youth left Delta State and had a meeting with the Commissioner of Youth in Anambra State. But they have not come to even reach out to her here in Delta Soil to say, okay, our daughter, our child, we are sorry, we apologize for how you were treated in Anambra. This is not our style, this is not our pattern, but we're very sorry that things went sour. They have not reached out, and that shows the act of callousness and irresponsibility from the government. And I bet you, if this were to be a northerner that this has happened to, they would have felt the heat. Because we was not going to condone irregularities because we're in government. What is bad is bad. You condemn it. Now the governor of Anambra State is trying to run away from responsibility, saying they have been arrested, they are now with the police. No, you will also pay for damages for what you have done as a governor, for bringing security outfit that they lost control, because they're not operating on their own. You as a governor, you brought them in to combat insecurity. So if they do anything which arises against the cause of fundamental rights of Nigerians or Anambarians, then they will face the full wrath of the law. So it's simple. So the government of Anambra is trying to shield himself away from the issue on ground. But that, trust me, is not going to work out, because we must face the issue squarely. That going forward in their entire life, they will never lay their hand on a Nigerian citizen or any copper serving in Anambra State. And we've told the governor of Anambra State as well that going forward, ensure that every lodge where coppers are living, there's police coverage for them. We must ensure that every copper in Anambra State, there must be a police coverage for them to protect their right and integrity. Because just imagine that this thing might happen maybe in a very large hour. She might have been raped. Yeah. But because there was still time, they couldn't carry their different activities. It would have been, let's say, like 11 p.m. at night. Only God knows what would have happened to her. They might have even shot her and say, okay, and travel somewhere. And intimidate the rest of them to write a statement that it's not them that killed her. So you don't bring in people to come and once someone is holding a gun, you person must be trained and under the control of the police. Because you don't just give people ammunition to say, okay, go and guard. No. Even local vigilantes, when they guide, they drop the guns in the station in the morning, they sign as they go. In the evening when you're coming to guide, you check it, because they know if you leave these guns with them to go to their house, any little provocation, they'll just carry the gun and kill somebody.
Okay, now I'm also a bit interested on how far justice have been served. You told us that 8 of them have been arrested. On the mining, they are up to 10, and 2 still seem to be at large, or rather doing their job, because at large means they've run away, but they are still being seen, because we also got reports from Elo herself that even after 2 weeks or 3 weeks after, she even saw that very guy still doing his job and feel undisturbed. So my question is, yes, you said you people got there on the 25th.
Yes.
When were the 8 operatives arrested, sir?
They were arrested on the 20th.
Okay.
We got on 21st. So they were arrested on Wednesday and given to the police. The police said they brought them in at night, later of Wednesday. Okay. We got in there on Thursday morning to meet the Commissioner of Police, and were received by the AC CID in charge of the case. Okay. And he is a very discreet police officer. We had a report that he said he has zero tolerance for human rights infractions. That he's going to ensure that the paperwork are ready to charge them to court.
So were you fortunate enough to see these 8 persons?
They put them
to know whether they were really arrested.
Yes, they put them in different cells. We're able to see 4. They put them two in different cells, so they don't have a compromise. They don't have the same statement. Yeah. So they separate them so that when you come, they take a statement. This that will come and give. So when they give a statement, they will not know that okay, this is how to go about it. But I confirmed that they were all detained.
Okay, now
I saw their names on the detention order, and I know they are there.
Okay, so how far has, is it just only been detained? Have they been charged to court?
No, they were arraigned in court because the IPO need to visit the scene of crime to take eyewitness account as well. Okay. And that has been done between Friday and today, Monday, because we were there on Thursday. So she's going to do that between Friday and Monday. So I think from now to Thursday, they'll be arranged in court.
So they'll be, but they've not been arranged.
No, they've not been arranged in court. No, they've not. But they will be arranged in court. I'll keep you posted. I'll also be in Anambra when they'll be arranged in court to also try our weight on the matter. Okay,
well, anyway, in case you're watching and also having a brief on what's happening, well, today on Dialogue, we're looking at that very unfortunate incident that played out on the 13th day of July 2025, far off in Anambra State, when a Deltan, and I'm talking about a serving corps member of the NYSC, was assaulted by 10 armed men. And well, all the narrative that played out is quite unfortunate that it took them more than a month before any meaningful thing was done to bring these persons to justice. But anyway, we're still looking at that as also we try to really address some other issues as it concerns insecurity and how far most paramilitary that seem to be helping the security agency should know what best to do, especially as it concerns their relationship with civil Nigerians and that they are meant to protect, but in every way they seem to be waging their gun and doing the very opposite. But no opposite discussion here, straight on Dialogue. We talk about the issues, address them, and we hit them on the head. Now let's continue on that very direction, because I'm really interested in knowing. Now, it looks as if the investigation is still ongoing, because they've not been charged to court. And is Ella still in Anambra State, or presently she's in Delta? No, and the reason I'm asking this is just because of her safety.
She's in Delta. We want to risk her to be in Anambra. Hence I said there's immediate requirement of her to continue her service in Delta, no longer in Anambra.
Now, but we do know the court cases will be heard in Anambra. Is there any modalities put in place by the Delta State government to help to see how they can also make it a seamless issue for her?
Very well. As in, she's not going to spend a dime of her money going to court or for transportation. The last time we went, I paid all the transportation for she and her dad to and fro to Anambra and came back.
On account of the Delta State government?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess, is it now Eloho or the Delta State government versus these outfits? Let's understand what seems to be. Yes, let's understand it.
No, the lead counsel is Cyrus Onu.
Okay.
He's the lead counsel for Elo Edema.
Okay.
Standing for her for the 1 billion naira suit filed against the Anambra State government.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. So is the Delta State government also the ones footing that bill?
No, the Delta State government is not the one footing that bill for that. Yes.
Okay.
She had a private counsel that came in and said, okay, this is the way to go, and they've done that.
Okay. Now let's also look at. We also do understand that she was assaulted, and she had a whole lot of bruises all over her body. Who had also ensure that the medical bills have been paid? Is it being paid by the Anambra State government, or is the Delta State government taking charge of that?
No, this happened in July.
Yes.
So she had already done that with her own money for treatment and all of that.
But was she not refunded?
No, the Anambra State government refund when they pay the damage. Hence, they are demanding for 1 billion.
So nobody has paid any damage thus far, even as it concerns her health?
No, nobody.
Well, a sad narrative. And let's also come back to that, because this very issue rose, or in a way has now sparked that reaction as it concerns private police, and not just private police, but also state police. Now, this has always been a major debate that has been on the board since 2022, especially after the increase and surge in insecurity in Nigeria. And this also has brought out the feeling that is Nigeria in any way ripe for state police, looking that just some locals that were giving guns on account to administer the right thing seem to have gone overboard to do harm rather than good. So I want to bring that discussion to you, because you've always been a proponent of state police. Yes. But see what played out last month. Are you still on the side of having a state police?
Yeah, I think seeing what played out in Anambra, and with some of the other outfits, the anti-court, the forest guard, the local vigilantes, the mannerism with which they carry their job gets me worried that we are not yet ripe for community policing. So I think we have to put that on the hold. We have to go for a general reorientation of our people, of our country, sell out ideas, do seminars, workshops, get our mind, first of all, let our mind be educated. So when we are giving these guns to work, we will now work diligently. But in the state we are now, if you employ community policing, if I have a rift with my career, for example, in the community for like 5 years ago, they give me a gun. The first thing I'll think of is how to go and fight you for what you did to me 5 years ago. If you maybe, for example, we're dragging the same girl and you took her away from me, and when I finally get a vigilante job, I'll come and guide your street. When I see you now, I use the gun to hit your head and say, you are wandering. So in that way, we are not yet ripe, because we must not play security with our emotions, putting our sentiment in play. We must devoid it from sentiment and face on the job and get it done. And I think if they should integrate them into the police first. Let's leave all this outfit, integrate all of them into the police. Let them go out. Since you are good at doing security, why not join the police? You are the lead agency in internal security. Join the police and make their work easier for them. Because I don't know why the governor created this Agune chamber, the Udoachi, separately, and they were not attached to the police. It keeps. I've asked him several times, I say, Your Excellency, what is the rationale behind you bringing out this outfit? Because, like in Delta State, for example, no anti-cultists, no vigilantes is meant to go and patrol on their own. If you see them most times, you see 2 police officers, senior police officers in charge, watching what they are doing. That is the way to go. Because if you leave them alone, this switch for exuberance and all of that, and try intimidation and all of that, they want to do, don't exhibit it. So I think going forward, we're not ripe for policing yet. Let us face reorientation of our people, value orientation, giving good norms and values, ideas. Let's run with the idea to say, okay, we are first Nigerians before whatever office we are holding. So let's see the other man as our brother, see this other person like our sister. When we have that conviviality together, then we can also go, the police will not come. Then you are doing your job squarely.
Okay, well, anyway, that's what we're doing. We're trying to do our job squarely in really talking and logging, especially as it concerns the issue of, the Delta State Corps member far away in Anambra State just last month. Just like our guests have said, well, it looks as if we're still not right for community policing. And also, I'm happy that both of us are not dragging a girl yet. So, well, no issues to attack. But anyway, we'll still attacking the issue. And one I want to also get clarification from you is the response from the National Youth Service Corps. How have their response be, especially as it concerns this matter? Because with what we learned, Ella said she wanted to place a call to them, but even after, it was more of the school she was serving with that came to her rescue. So did the NYSC fall short in not just protecting them, because it's obvious there was no protection, but did they fall short in also addressing this issue?
Yes, they did.
In your own response?
They did, 100%, because now, from her narrative, from her testimony, she said she told the NYSC coordinator of what had happened. Okay. She forwarded the video.
Of watching Spa.
After taking my phone, I forwarded the video to him. He didn't even look at the video, he didn't even respond to the video. It was when it is not gaining, a widespread, that's when I said, okay, this is the video. He didn't even open the video, they sent to him. Ella forwarded the video to the NYSC coordinator in Anambra. After putting the call, I forwarded the video. It was one thing was not getting widespread, and I said, okay. And then I told them that some of you get married to men that will beat you. Just see it as a part of life. Just, that's what is coming out from the coordinator of the NYSC in Anambra State. But I must commend the coordinator of Delta State Anambra, NYSC coordinator of Delta State. They went to visit her in her father's house, and they threw the weight on her.
That's on behalf of the NYSC.
NYSC. But the national, they've not reached out. The Anambra, they acted so irresponsible. I must say that, and it's so disheartening where our people we do not have value for ourselves. We think about money. This lady sent this thing to you as a coordinator. The first thing you should have done is to make sure that everybody involved were arrested. If you had done that issue,
because he would have worked directly with Nigerian police, and get this done rather than having you people go there and
get them arrested. Rather, he's telling them that they should see it. He was telling because there are 2 ladies among them that were assaulted. The other ones, they are guys. He was telling them that see it as if you're married to a husband that is beating you. How can you bring such a narrative? What ideas as an NYSC coordinator are you imbibing on the female child?
Well, forgive me for asking, is he a man or a woman?
He's a man.
Oh, well, sorry to say it. Well, anyway, okay, well, we're really out of time, and my PD is already giving me the sign that we need to go, but we will not go without really getting your total reaction to this. Yes. How far is the Delta State government willing to go to ensure justice is being served, being a representative of the Delta State government?
Yes, I think the Delta State government is ready to go as far as the reach of justice can be, because His Excellency has zero tolerance for human rights violations. Because from 1999 to date, none of the governors, ex-governors have the office of the SSA on human rights. Okay. He's the first governor that has said, okay, because he's human rights friendly, said there's need for us to checkmate excess of human rights violations within the state. And that's why I came in. So I think a senator will throw its weight in the matter continually to ensure
because that's where the fears of Deltans are. You know, sometimes the momentum starts, but midway it dies off and we'll never hear of the case again.
In most cases, it becomes from when the victim himself boycotts you and go and negotiate compensation. That's where it happens. But when the victim is saying, I want justice, and is ready to fight, then we could keep the fire burning.
Are you
sure?
Most
cases, when you are ready to fight the truth for them, some they will just leave you, go and connive with the oppressors, collect you some of money, and they go.
Will this not be the case here?
No, I doubt, because
knowing that the Anambra State government can also reach out to her to see if they can settle out of court.
No, I doubt it. She's so pained that she said she will. So even after she was there, she gave a statement. I really admire her courage, and I think she's going to be one of our ambassadors for the girl child, because she was standing her ground saying no. You know, she said no. That's not what happened. They lied that she said she don't want the case, and the father followed us to Anambra. It's an aged man, but he has to travel. He said, I never said that. I didn't tell anybody I don't want the case. I want this case to continue. I want them to be charged to court. So the lies they said on TV, the father heard it and he came to give a rebuttal to that. He said, no, I never said, my daughter never said that we want this matter, we want to see the end of the matter in court.
Well, anyway, that's more like us getting the end of the discussion today, and I really need to thank the SSA, to the governor on human rights issues for really not just only coming here to also air his view on this very issue, but also putting this as a top priority to address and also call for justice for no other but Eloho Jennifer Edema. We really want to say thank you so much for coming, and also we'll be reaching out to you to give us update on how far this case will go. We're really interested in that, because on Dialogue, we don't just talk, but we also do what we feel is right to ensure that the nation is indeed in the right direction. But anyway, the right thing to do is that we need to thank you so much, Mr. Comrade Kevin Ojomodo, for spending his time with us. But anyway, you do know that's a wrap today on Dialogue, but you also do know that Viewpoint continues trending, and the news will come later. But for now, God bless you. We'll see you later on it.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Ruth Gender Foundation.
I'm Ruth Edema Collins. I hold a first degree in physics electronics, a postgraduate qualification in business administration, and a nationally certified French language tutor. Career-wise, I'm an educational facilitator. I'm the managing director at Atlantic Media and TV, and I'm also a director at Vocotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited. I'm a wife and a mother, and I like dressing up to show up. Yeah, so that's basically me. Thank you. Root Gender Foundation was inspired from my personal experiences growing up as a young girl in a typical Nigerian environment. For me, it was being different. It made people bully me, abuse me, and harass me. I was always misunderstood and underrated. Root Gender is a foundation that is dedicated to building confidence in the Nigerian girl child through educational and inspirational programs, like supporting programs that promote girl child education. We also organize physical exercises for our young girls for the overall well-being of their mental and physical states, and also for the acquisition of self-defense skills. We also sensitize girls on laws that protect them. In our constitution, a lot of girls do not know that they have rights, that there are laws that protect their interests in Nigeria. Hence, they are vulnerable, they are living in fear, which is stopping them from reaching their full potentials. So we sensitize them on the laws that protect their interest. This, like I said, is visioned towards building confidence in the Nigerian girl child. So that is just a wrap-up of what we do at Root Gender Foundation. I would say I resonate with the struggles and the challenges of the girl child, particularly the Warri girl child. I happen to grow up in the heart of Warri. I'm from an average background. My family is an average one, but I experienced a lot. Like I said, I was bullied, I was overlooked, I was harassed for being a different child, for daring to be different. And nobody was taking note and tapping into my potentials. So my interest for the girl child is I would love to be a voice for the girl child. They need people to believe in them. They need people to speak for them. I also want the Warri girl child to know that there is hope beyond the reef. I want them to see the bigger picture. I want them to know that they can compete on global platforms. They can compete on international platforms, and they can do very well. We have the likes of Ada Gold, or Maumi, and the rest of them. They are all competing very well on international platforms, and I know that you too can do that, and I want you to know that is why we are here. Root Gender Foundation is here to make you understand that you can actually be what you want to be. As part of our objectives at Root Gender Foundation, we are dedicated to promoting girl child education. Like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. I represent the brand the African Girl Child, because I have gone through the struggles from there to here. So giving 2 million to the best female participants is just a way to share them on. It's just a way to make them know that we believe in you. I believe in you. You can look up to us. we are sharing you on. It is not about the money. We believe in your potential. We want our girls to know that you are doing the right thing at the right time. You are in the right place, and this is what you should be doing. That's why we are supporting you, and we will always be here to support you. Girl-child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect our girl child. You know, my NGO, we've been pursuing a bill that we will see to be passed. We are asking that our girls should be allowed to carry pepper spray as weapons of self-defense. Because if you look at it, our women have nothing to protect themselves. They are just there by the grace of God. So we are pursuing laws that will protect the girl child. So empowerment, girl child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect the girl child, educating the girl child on time and money management, financial literacy, and equipping them with self-defense skills. Also, access to quality education. This to me is girl child empowerment and nothing more. A girl child must possess effective communication skills. They should be able to communicate effectively. A girl child should be financially literate. She should know how to manage her finances, and she should also know how to manage her time. Yes. Also, most importantly, another skill is self-awareness. It's important for our girls to know who they are, to believe in themselves. That's the vision of our NGO, building confident girls that can achieve their full potentials in Nigeria. That is our NGO's vision. So yeah, those are some of the skills I believe that the girl child should possess. She needs role models. She needs people that have led that path and have made it. Our young girls need role models. That's why we have to do better. We have to do the work. We have to bridge the gap. We have to share them on like we are doing. You can achieve your dreams. First, you have to make education your best friend. Every effort you put into learning will always be there for you, to never fail you. Boys will break your heart, people will break your heart, but every effort you put towards learning anything, everything will always come through for you. So for you to achieve your dreams, look towards the right people, look towards the right direction. There are people that have achieved in that route. I will encourage you to look up to them, learn from them. That is just the way to achieve your dreams. My message to the Warri Child, like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. We are letting the world know that we are not vile, we are not roused, we are educated, we compete intellectually, we have good things ahead of us. We can do it on the global platform, we can do it on the national platform, and we are everything there is to be a woman. I would encourage you, Warri Girl Child, make education your best friend. Make education your best friend. Learn new things. Learn new languages. Okay? And the sky will be your starting point. We are always here to share you up. Don't forget that my name is Ruth Edema Collins from Root Gender Foundation, and from all of us wishing you the best, we say keep watching Atlantic TV.
Ruth Gender Foundation. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Hi everybody and welcome to Wawu Africa. This is the official launching and it's your host QJ and And we are so excited to be here, guys. This is a brand new app, girl, for women, Christocentric women.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. My expectations are through the roof. We have amazing guests here today, so stay tuned.
And we're gonna be back.
Yeah, we will be back.
That seeks to bridge the gap between opportunity and access. A movement that believes in the transformative power of women's economic empowerment. Our mission is simple, yet ambitious, to provide a safe, inclusive and supportive environment, a safe, inclusive space where women can learn, earn, collaborate and thrive, where they can showcase their skills, share their stories and sell their products and services.
Every day I create, but no one sees me. Until now. Introducing Wawu Africa. Learn, showcase, connect, earn. Now, the world sees my worth and pays for it. Wawu Africa, where women rise.
Okay, so the inspiration behind Wawu Africa, it stems from women being dealt the lower hand, if I may put it that way. Because in corporate worlds, we see that men always get the better pay, they always get better roles, and if there is a woman in a good position, it is assumed that she did something to get that position. So we're trying to change that narrative where we are saying, look, women are not just meant for the kitchen. Women need to earn more as well. Women need to be heard. Women need to be seen for what they can do, for their skills, not just as some sexual object or some sexual toy, because that is one of the things that has been, or the major thing that has been tied to when you say I'm a woman. That is one thing that people see first. So we're trying to change that narrative. We want women to be out there doing big things just like our male counterparts are doing and not being dependent. We're trying to change that narrative of women are always so dependent on men. We want to be independent, not like we want to just do everything on our own, but we want to be able to stand as women in our various industries, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as an artisan, a content creator, whatever it is that you are. We want women to stand out there.
I think it's a beautiful and a fantastic phenomenal initiative that I think can metamorphose into things like skill acquisition for women, safe place for women training, etiquette for women, empowering women. We call it a man's world. I call it a gentleman's world because the gentleman puts the woman first. Yes. And so I think this is a phenomenal idea. If everyone has a sister, mother, or a daughter, one of them, sister, mother, or a daughter. So it's high time we started investing in the women and make this world a better place, a safer place for them. I'm thinking of a WOW counseling, for WOW rehabilitation, for drug addiction for women. women. I think it's something that is really huge that will begin to make. There are too many layers on what to do to make the world safe and safer for women. And so I believe that this is the beginning of the best days of this thing we just launched today. And so hoping for more.
Why did you decide to support Wawu Africa? What does it mean to you as a woman?
It means everything. I am a woman first, and personally, I am a strong advocate for the girl child and for women affairs. So anything women, supporting them, lifting them, you'll find me there. So, but as per this, my media outfits, we are very proud to give them the visibility that they need to reach their targets and where they wish to go, and give them every other support that they need to reach the women that we hope to reach. Women need to learn. It is a basic skill that they must have. They must learn, they must earn, they must grow, and they must learn to collaborate. That's why we are here. I have met some amazing women here. She leads Africa. She's here too. So it is amazing when women support each other. We attain amazing heights. So we cannot overlook the importance of collaborating with other people, other women like us. It is very, very, very important.
Here at Wawu Africa, it's an app that supports women. So what are your views on it?
In fact, it's a great idea because it will help women to be able to showcase their businesses. They don't need to, like online businesses now, they can have a space to put in their businesses and sell their products easily now for export.
My expectations are really high. I've worked with the owner, the person in charge for a while, and I know he's a very brilliant mind and he has ideas, and this is one of them which has come to fruition. So my expectations are really high. It's a platform to help women be empowered, help women earn, help women scale up, and that aligns with the value of She Leads Africa. That's why we're here, partnering with them, encouraging them, and saying we're here, we're hailing you, we're behind you. We pray and hope that you scale, right, and achieve all your dreams.
Wawu Africa, where women rise.
Don't stop. So it has been an amazing experience, hasn't it? Oh my gosh, we have so many expectations from Wawu Africa, and it has been great vibing with you guys. It's your host QJ and Chi. Until next time, stay tuned.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined, uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst. I'm one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife Ninja Celebrity Type Man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I am Nkechi Tejere. Here are our top stories. Federal government launches digital portal to track teachers nationwide. 027 race, PDP zones ticket to South, Makinde eyes presidency. ECOWAS sets $2.5 billion plan for 260,000-man anti-terror force. Australia expels Iranian envoy over anti-Semitic arson attacks. Udo Obong to Nigeria. Athletes deserve respect, not handouts. Now to the news in full. The federal government has unveiled a new digital portal aimed at creating a credible database of teachers across Nigeria, streamlining licensing and promoting professionalism in the education sector. The portal was launched in Abuja by the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria in partnership with the UK-funded Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria program. Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmad, described the initiative as a turning point for teachers' management in the country, saying it would provide seamless registration, real-time access to professional development, and greater accountability. Also speaking, Senior Education Advisor at the British High Commission, Ian Atfield, welcomed the move, stressing the need to integrate and motivate teachers across diverse platforms, from community schools to private institutions. The UK government has pledged continued support for Nigeria's education reforms, with the new platform expected to strengthen teacher capacity and boost the nation's education system. The federal government has raised the alarm over possible flooding in 9 northern states and 14 communities between August 25th and 29th. The warning was issued by the National Flooding Early Warning Center under the Federal Ministry of Environment. According to the advisory, states likely to be affected include Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara. The ministry further directed residents of communities along the River Niger floodplain from Jeba to Lokoja to evacuate immediately as water levels continue to rise. The alert comes just days after flooding in Yobe State displaced over 600 residents, mostly women and children. Authorities are urging residents in the listed states to stay on high alert and take precautionary measures to prevent loss of lives and properties. The battle for Nigeria's 2027 presidency is heating up as the People's Democratic Party has officially zoned its presidential ticket to the south. This decision paves the way for Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and other southern aspirants to challenge President Bola Tinubu at the polls. The resolution was reached at the PDP's 102nd National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja. The party also confirmed Umar Damagum as substantive national chairman and upheld the current zoning formula for its November convention in Ibadan. The zoning announcement rekindles old tensions. In 2015, Northern PDP leaders opposed then-President Goodluck Jonathan's re-election bid, a move that helped the APC secure victory. A similar revolt in 2023, led by 5 governors including Nyesom Wike, deepened internal divisions. Analysts warn the 2027 elections could trigger another showdown within the party. Meanwhile, Peter Obi's loyalists say the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate is still consulting before deciding his next move. But the APC has dismissed the PDP's zoning arrangement, insisting the opposition is headed for another defeat. With zoning now settled, attention shifts to which southern heavyweight will clinch the PDP ticket and whether the party can avoid repeated history in 2027. Nigeria's power grid continues to wobble, stuck at around 5,500 megawatts, despite government's promises to push generation beyond 6,000 megawatts. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has announced the transfer of electricity market oversight in Bayelsa State to the Bayelsa Electricity Regulatory Agency. This move, in line with the amended 1999 Constitution and Electricity Act 2023, gives Bayelsa powers to regulate, license, generate, and distribute electricity within the state. The Commission also directed the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company to set up a subsidiary within 60 days for intrastate supply and distribution in Bayelsa. All transfers must be concluded by February 20th, 2026. With this, Bayelsa joins Lagos, Edo, Ogun, Oyo, Plateau, and other states already exercising electricity market autonomy. However, despite these regulatory reforms, power generation nationwide remains stagnant. NEC reports show that while Nigeria's installed capacity stands at over 13,000 megawatts, actual available capacity is barely 5,500, raising concerns that promises of stable power supply are still far from reality. Meanwhile, experts warn that until Nigeria addresses poor plant performance and transmission challenges, the dream of reliable power supply may remain elusive. You're watching our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. We'll go on a short break. More news stories when we return.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is taking a bold step to combat terrorism across the region. The bloc has unveiled plans to raise $2.5 billion annually to activate a 260,000-man rapid deployment counter-terrorism brigade. The announcement was made in Abuja at the 2025 African Chiefs of Defense Staff Summit by ECOWAS Commission President Omar Toure, represented by Commissioner Abdel Fattah Moussa. Toure noted that the Sahel region accounted for 51% of global terrorism deaths in 2024, warning that West Africa has now become the epicenter of terrorism worldwide. Beyond counter-terrorism, ECOWAS is also moving to operationalize an integrated maritime security strategy with regional hubs in Abuja and other centers to tackle piracy, organized crime, and insecurity across the Gulf of Guinea. Former Nigerian Minister of External Affairs, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, speaking at the summit, stressed that Africa is now battling more than 1,000 insurgent groups, calling for homegrown defense industries to reduce dependence on foreign powers. ECOWAS says this initiative is a clarion call for partners to stand with Africa in defeating terrorism and restoring peace to the region. He added that ECOWAS defense and finance ministers will meet this Friday in Abuja to finalize funding modalities. The Commission is also urging the African Union and United Nations to support the initiative. The Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers is calling on the federal government to fast-track urgent economic reforms that will reposition Nigeria's capital market as a key driver towards achieving a $1 trillion economy. The institute made this appeal during a one-day workshop at the State House Conference Center in Abuja, themed Capital Formation in Nigeria, empowering industry, institutions, and markets to drive a $1 trillion economi. In a statement jointly signed by CIS President Oluropo Dada and Registrar Ayorinde Adeonikbeku, the Institute stressed the need for coordinated action among fiscal, trade, and monetary policy makers to restore investor confidence and attract long-term capital. CIS also highlighted the importance of integrating Nigeria's informal sector into the formal economy, developing diaspora-targeted financial instruments, and creating a national savings strategy to channel local resources into productive sectors. The Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers insists that effective capital formation supported by reforms, innovation, and strong regulatory frameworks, remains central to unlocking Nigeria's trillion-dollar economic dream. Global cryptocurrency exchange and Web3 company Viewpoint has launched a groundbreaking product that bridges traditional finance and decentralized finance. The exchange introduced the world's first real-world asset index perpetual contract, allowing users to trade tokenized versions of traditional assets such as Tesla, Nvidia, and Circle. According to Viewpoint, the model ensures fairness, transparency, and flexibility as the exchange can dynamically add or remove index sources depending on market activity and liquidity. Trading will run on a 5x24 schedule, closed on weekends and stock market holidays, while leverage is capped at 10 times to minimize risk. The company says the contracts are designed with mechanics similar to existing crypto perpetuals, making it easier for users to adapt. Industry watchers said the move marks a major step towards merging traditional stock trading with the fast-growing world of decentralized finance. You're watching our daily news roundup. We'll go for yet another short break. More news stories on the international scene when we return.
My name is Desaka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife Niger celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
As you know, you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere or I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. Now to some foreign stories. Australia has expelled Iran's ambassador, accusing Tehran of orchestrating anti-Semitic arson attacks in Sydney and Melbourne. It's the first time since World War II that Australia has taken such a diplomatic step. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said intelligence reports confirmed Iran was behind the touching of a kosher cafe in Bondi in October 2024 and the arson attack on the Adas Israel synagogue in Melbourne 2 months later. Although no injuries were reported, Albanese describes the incidents as dangerous acts of aggression aimed at undermining social cohesion. Australia declared Ambassador Ahmad Sadeghi and 3 Iranian officials persona non grata, giving them 7 days to leave. Canberra has also withdrawn its own ambassador from Tehran and suspended operations at its embassy. In a further move, the government announced plans to designate Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist organization. Foreign Minister Penny Wong says this marks the first time in the post-war era that Australia has expelled an ambassador, underscoring the severity of the intelligence findings and Canberra's zero tolerance for foreign interference. Tragedy struck in Australia on Tuesday as two police officers were shot dead and a third injured during an active incident in rural Victoria. Authorities say the gunman is still at large. The confrontation happened in the town of Porepunkah at the foot of the mountains in northeast Victoria. Police confirmed the ongoing operation, urging residents to stay away from the area. Reports have it that officers were attempting to execute a warrant linked to historical sex abuse allegations when the violence erupted. The Age newspaper says the warrant was tied to investigations into past crimes, though details remain limited. Victoria Police described the situation as extraordinary and dangerous, promising to release more information once it is safe to do so. Meanwhile, security has been tightened in the region as the search for the suspect intensifies. Australia mourns the loss of two officers in the line of duty as questions grow about the motive behind the deadly attack. And now to some sporting stories. Two-time Olympic medalist Eneffiong Udo Obong says Nigeria owes no athlete financial favors, but insists past and present sportsmen deserve respect and recognition for their sacrifices. His comments come after former Super Eagles stars Taribo West and Austin Eguavon criticized the government and the NFF for neglecting ex-players during the service of songs for late goalkeeper Peter Rufai. The NFF has since dismissed those claims. Udo Obong, who anchored Nigeria's 4x400 meters relay team to Olympic gold in Sydney 2000 and bronze in Athens 2004, has had a distinguished career in athletics administration. Now serving as technical director for Saudi Arabia's athletics development program, he beat global contenders from the US, UK, and Australia to secure the role. The 43-year-old says what athletes truly need from Nigeria is respect, fair recognition, and structures that support their growth, not lifetime stipends. He previously served in key roles within Nigerian athletics, including as technical director of the Lagos State Athletics Association. Udo Obong insists that honoring the contributions of athletes is the surest way to inspire the next generation of Nigerian champions. Super Eagles star Alex Iwobi has revealed that Manchester United's shaky defense gave Fulham the advantage in their 1-1 Premier League draw at Craven Cottage on Sunday. Iwobi, who provided the assist for Emile Smith-Rowe's equalizer, said Fulham had worked on exploiting the spaces behind United's midfield during training, a plan that paid off on match day. He stressed the importance of substitutes, noting that decisive moments often come late in games, while Fulham manager Marco Silva praised his players' response after a tough start. Smith-Rowe also credited his understanding with Iwobi, saying he knew exactly where the Nigerian midfielder would deliver the ball. With that assist, Iwobi has now been directly involved in 16 Premier League goals since last season, the highest contribution by any Fulham player. The result remains Fulham have now scored in 4 of their last 5 meetings against Manchester United, with Iwobi and compatriot Calvin Bassey involved in every goal. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today right here on Atlantic TV. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a good day.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, welcome to Trendy. It's Trendy O'Clock. We will talk about all the trending gist, all the juicy gist on the internet, and of course, give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Erabo, and I have with me Michael Gubadia, and together we'll share our opinions on all the trending gist today. So let's see what we have for today. The first one, a fresh debate has sparked online after Larry Olayinka, aide to FCT Minister Onyesom Wike, suggested a national identification number, that is the NIN, and a valid government ID should be made mandatory for Nigerians before opening or operating a social media account, though he claims that this will help curb misinformation, fake accounts, and impersonation. But netizens don't feel the same way. Let's see what Mr. Michael feels.
Well,
what
anyway, it's really, really sad getting to hear government officials put us through a rigorous exercise on account of what they feel we need to do. You know, this is not the first time we're hearing about NIN being used for this and that.
Yeah.
And now putting these on the front burner, telling us we have to get our NIN before things are being done, it's really annoying. It's just like putting us through a whole lot of stress all over again. I could still remember when they said we needed the NIN to either open your bank account. I know how many persons lost their life on account of that. Long hours, queues, headache, extortion, all came on account of this. And now, being a government official that would have known best and better, you're coming up with such suggestions. It's really a disconnect between the citizens and government.
The government, yeah.
Just a totally big disconnect.
Okay. So the thing is, do you think that this will make social media safer in as much as he claims that this will help curb misinformation, fake accounts, and impersonation? So do you feel it will actually make the social media safer, or this is another way of limiting the freedom of speech?
Well, in every way, I feel it's more like limiting the freedom of speech. Do other countries also have to do theirs for them to be on the social space? No. So why should our own be any different? So getting your NIN, how would that really stop you from saying what you need not to say? I wonder how, because everybody knows who you are. Facebook always gets your face and gets sometimes your address and also your contact. So what more would this even need to add to the safety of the social media space? I want him to really come out and help us clarify it. How is it going to help? How is it going to aid? That's how they told us with NIN, in kidnapping will be a thing of the past, this and that, but now we know how ripe kidnapping is, even with the issue of NIN.
And at this point, I don't really know what the governments are really aiming at, because I recall last week they took about a total number of about
13 million.
Yes, 30 million users from social media, and now they're coming with this again. So we don't really know if this is anti-government policy or whatever it is. We don't really know. And knowing the fact that your SIM card is actually linked to your NIN, I don't see any reason why they should go through the same process again and again. So if they want to do it, no need coming online to give us public announcements. You can just do it secretly, because most of the social media accounts already have your phone number. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, it's linked to a phone number, so you can just access the person's account using the NIN from the SIM registration. You don't have to go through all of this process again. So that's what I feel. But to my audience, do you feel this is a necessary regulation, or this is a form of a digital dictatorship? Is that what you feel? Drop your comments in the comment section. Yes, for our second topic, a statement was made by Pastor Paul Adefarasin of House of Rock. This has set social media on fire. The clergyman claims that Nigeria was not created by God, but by the British for financial gains. The big question now is, was Nigeria actually created for purely a political arrangement, or is there a divine purpose behind this?
Well, honestly, Nigeria was not created by God. The world was created by God. Nigeria was created by the British.
Yeah.
It was their design
Okay.
in putting the South and the North together under one rulership. So I don't understand why the social space should really be on fire on account of this. Nigeria was never created by God. We are all created by God. The world was created by God. But as a nation, it was not God that came down to give us independence. It was the British. So they did so in 1960. They were the ones that had to join both North and South and put them under one dictate, gave them a name called Nigeria, and now here we are. So I wonder.
Okay, so netizens believe that, or he said that Nigeria was actually created by British for financial gains, and that Lord Lugard's girlfriend actually named the country. So people believe that this is the reason we are going through one form of issue.
Okay, because of the girlfriend.
I don't know, but
Well,
that's
she
what
had a
they
good
feel.
night. She had a good night before she named Nigeria Nigeria. So I don't understand.
So they feel because Pastor Paul came out to say it wasn't created by God, and because it wasn't created by God is the reason we are going through all of this hardship that we're facing in the country right now. That's what they believe.
Well, anyway, their belief is irrelevant. Forgive my language and forgive me for saying that. That belief doesn't stand. The truth why we're going through a hell lot is the issue of bad governance. Let's face reality. Let's not put it on the blame of Ade Farasin, the pastor of House of the Rock. No, come on. We're going through what we're going because of bad governance and because of our leaders not being accountable when they need to. So that's just the reason we're going through what we're going. And we're going through it because we as a people have not changed. And because we've not changed, we're still getting the kind of leaders that comes out of us. So basically, that's why we're going through the problem well.
Okay, Mr. Michael, you actually said that you agree with him that Nigeria obviously was not created by God, that the world was created by God.
Yes, by the world,
so the question now is, do you feel that since Nigeria was not created by God, we can actually recreate Nigeria ourselves?
That's
do you
what,
believe that?
That's what they've said. And that's why we see here some of our brothers wishing to disconnect from Nigeria and form their own country. But the question still remains, does a change of name or a change of country change our minds?
That's a big one. To the audience watching, if Pastor Paul and Mr. Michael believes that Nigeria was not created by God.
By Lord Lugard's girlfriend after a good night.
The question is, what do you believe? So drop your comments in the comments section. We have this Sunday Tinubu, a self-acclaimed Sunday Tinubu, has gone public claiming that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is his biological father. He further alleged that the president abandoned him and his mother, who hails from Bayelsa State. Netizens' reactions are divided. Some demand clarifications. Others dismiss it as a clout chaser. Mr. Michael, what do you feel about this?
Well, even if you feel they look alike because they're not too fine, because of how they look, I do not feel, we're in the era of DNA. So if there's any question, let's just go ahead and get DNA result on that. And let's stop chasing whatever we're chasing.
But the guy was really dropping some facts, saying that Tinubu was a friend to Fela, and his mother was also a dancer under Fela's music firm, and that was how his mom met Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and after all of that, Bola Ahmed Tinubu abandoned him, that his mother told him, and for 5 years now he's been in Lagos searching for his father.
His father is not in Lagos, he's in Asuro.
He said he's been in Lagos for the past 5 years looking for his father. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I don't know if you get this, but you should go and try to do a DNA to know if that boy is your son, because the boy has been dragging you online. Well, but what do I know? Yeah. To my viewers, do you believe that the boy, the self-acclaimed Sunday Tinubu, is the biological son of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Let me know. Drop your comments in the comments section. Yes, for our third story, a dramatic scene played out in Niger Delta University, Bayelsa State, where a heated argument between a lecturer and a student escalated into a physical fight right in the lecture hall. The video has since sparked mixed reactions online. One thing noticed is the fact that we often allow emotions cloud our judgments because the student is a female and netizens are not finding it funny that why would a lecturer hit a female student, and they're not even checking out what really led to this. And I tried to dig deep into this, and I found that the so-called student was caught for examination malpractice, and her phone was seized by this same lecturer, and she was asked to leave the exam hall, but she refused. Instead, she picked up the lecturer's phone and allegedly hit it on the floor, and the lecturer got angry, and that was what led to that video you just saw. So the thing is, my question now is, what does this say about the state of respect between lecturer and students of today?
Well, it's a sad one. I won't lie. When I saw that video, I first thought they were doing advert for WWE New SummerSlam. But it was when I went deeper, and I knew it really happened in a school in Bayelsa State.
Yeah.
It's really sad. It shows how really our societal values seem to have hit the rock, and no more respect.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's not like I'm condoning the action of the lecturer. He also went too far. There's no way you can hit a woman irrespective. This has also happened before now. We saw the issue of a lecturer should be in Imo. When the lady even assaulted her, he still remained calm, and at the end, she was rusticated. So I wonder where his defense will be in hitting a woman, headbutting her. That's why I thought it was WWE pre-season SummerSlam.
Mr.
And
Michael,
I'm really, really sad about
if
that.
I'm not mistaken, you said he went too far because
Yes,
she was a lady, and I just said some persons are allowing emotions cloud their judgment. So if the student happens to be a male, is it right for the lecturer to actually raise his hand and hit the student?
That's what I'm saying. I said it's wrong. He did it. What he did was wrong. You do not hit, even if it's a man. What if he had hit her and she fell on the ground and died? Are we still going to talk about what citizens will feel? Definitely he will face the law and he will go to jail for it. So it's really terrible. But irrespective of that, it goes to show that when it comes to respect, especially concerns our tertiary institution, that seems to have taken a hit in recent years. And many will also blame the part of the lecturers for this. You know, sometimes when you tell students to pay for marks, you demand all sorts of unnecessary, outrageous demands, be it monetary, be it even body-wise, anything. When you do that constantly, there's always every reason for those students to also have every need to disrespect you. Let's take it back to 1960 or even 70s or even 80s. You rarely see such thing. But now it's commonplace, especially in our tertiary institution, and it's something that we need to look at.
Okay, so should lecturers ever let discipline cross into physical confrontation? If no is your answer, then how else are lecturers supposed to discipline students?
There's a disciplinary board in the school.
Okay.
When such happen, report to them. That's why they are there. There's no law that gives you every account to hit students, especially in tertiary institution. Even in secondary school now, it's now becoming a thing of the past. So I wonder why a lecturer will go, yeah, she annoyed you, she took your phone, slammed it, smashed it, but there are disciplinary actions and committees that are there in the school that can deal with that, and not you raising your fist.
Yeah, to my audience, if you were in that hall, what side would you take, the lecturer or the students? Drop your comments in the comments section. And yes, for our last story today, the Osun State Police Command has arrested a young man identified as Yinka after his girlfriend, Bidemi, was found dead under mysterious circumstance at his residence in Esa-Oke. Though this is a developing story, the police are still investigating and will be sure to bring more updates as soon as they drop. But this has left the public with questions, more questions than answer, of which only the victim and the dead knows the truth to this. But one thing that I've been thinking about, that don't you think that guys take risks a lot, allowing girls come over to sleep over, not knowing if this person is sick? What if this person just happens to die in your house? What will happen? The dead will not be able to speak. So I've been thinking about this, Mr. Michael. What do you think about?
I'm more confused than you. Where would they sleep?
No, like you're inviting a girl to your house. What if anything happens?
Okay.
How will you defend yourself?
So you need to inform our parents first.
I don't know. I'm just asking. You're a guy. You should give me, like, what do you think? Bringing a girl to your house and something happens, and then you don't even know how to defend yourself, to defend your innocence, saying that this girl just came and because in that particular clip, I was seeing a comment of one guy that said he was in that situation some years back that his girlfriend came to the house. She barely spent about 3 hours. She was preparing to go for a vigil, and then she started complaining of running stomach. They went to pharmacy, got drugs. In about how many minutes time, this girl stopped breathing. He had to call his neighbor, and the neighbor had to tell him, you can't leave this girl here. You need to take her to the hospital, get hospital cards and all of that. So they got to the hospital, and when they got there, they found out that the girl was dead. He had to call the girl's parents. They came in, and people were telling him, just drop the girl and run. And he said, no, I cannot leave the girl and run. It makes me feel guilty, so I cannot leave the girl and run. And since then, I've been thinking, guys are taking a lot of risks, don't you think?
Well, they might be on account of love, but irrespective of it, it's only common sense that if maybe a partner is not well, the best place to go is the hospital and not your home. You're no doctor. So if you notice things like that, you know, the problem with most persons, they'll feel they can just manage the issues.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then it's just a headache. Well, she's feeling chest pain. Could be. And they end up doing things they don't need to do, and it's put strain on the body, and there we go.
Okay, a very sad story. So it's a developing story. The police are still investigating, and we hope that justice is served if the guy is really guilty. And this is where we have to draw the curtain on today, trending and on Viewpoint today. Of course, you know how to engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok at Atlantic Media and TV. I hope to see you same time, same station tomorrow. I am Mercy Erabo, and I still have...
Well, anyway, it's still me, Mike Egobadia. Like she said, let's see how I'll do this same time, same station tomorrow. I won't be having another awesome, lovely, fresh edition of Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. Bye for now.